Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about word problems. Now, whenever I have to work on a word problem, the first thing I want to do is read it through to find out what they're asking me to do. So during the zombie apocalypse, you start selling cans of Spam to other survivors for $4.50 per can. Survivors must also purchase one can opener for $3. If a survivor spends $30, how many cans of Spam did he buy? Well, they're asking me to find the number of cans. So now I'm going to go back through the problem and underline anything that I think is important. During the zombie apocalypse, you start selling cans of Spam to other survivors for $4.50 per can. Well, $4.50 is important because that tells me how much I'm going to spend. So I'm going to underline it and write above it. And if you remember from your notes, the word per means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply $4.50 per can that I purchase. Down here it says, how many cans of Spam did we buy? Well, we don't know that yet, so I'm going to put a C above that. Survivors also must purchase one can opener for $3. Well, since I also have to purchase something else, that means I'm going to add to my total. And I'm going to add one can opener for $3. So I'm going to underline both of those, and above it, I'm going to write the amounts. If the survivor spends $30, how many cans of Spam did he buy? Well, the word spends tell me that that's going to be a total. So I'm going to draw an equal sign above it and highlight my $30 because that's my total spent. So now that I've gone through and I've underlined and written above it, I have my equation already set. So now the next thing I can do is write my equation. So $4 times C, that's for my cans, plus $3 equals $30. And now I have my equation set. However, I'm going to look right here. Because that $4.50 times C, I can write that a little bit shorter. Remember that times means to multiply, but so does this. Whenever we have 450, if I write it this way, it also tells me to multiply. 450C means still 450 times C. So I'm going to take that little dot out of there. So now I have $4.50 C times C plus my $3 is going to equal my $30. So now I have my equation, and if you remember, this is a two-step equation. We already learned how to solve these two-step equations. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line down through my equal sign. And this tells me which side I work on. I always work on the side of the variable. And since the variable right here is on the left side, that's where I'm going to start. So now I have $4.50 times C plus $3. And if you remember from our little survivor, you are the variable. You want to be the only one left on the island. And that 450 is sticking right with you, just like your best friend does. So I'm going to keep that 450 on that side as long as I can. But look at this $3. This $3 is just hanging out here. It's not attached to any variable, so it's pretty easy to remove from this side. And I'm going to look at this. This tells me I was adding 3, and the inverse of adding 3 is to subtract 3. So if I subtract 3 from this side, I have to move to the other side of the line and subtract 3 there. Now plus 3 minus 3 goes to 0. So I can get rid of that. That'll go to 0 so I don't have to use it anymore. And I'm left with on this side $4.50 C equals 30 minus 3 is $27. So I'm left with 450C equals $27. So now I go back to this 450C. And remember from up here we have 450 times C is the same thing as what I have here. And the inverse of times we know is to divide. So I'm going to divide each side by $4.50. And again, whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So $4.50 here I divide by. Now this is going to go to 1. And we normally don't write the 1, so we're just left with C. So now C is by itself. And when I have $27 and I divide it by 450, it gives me an answer of 6. So that means for $30, he purchased 6 cans of Spam. And there is your answer. He purchased 6 cans. And those are the steps to solve a word problem.